Hey guys, today we're back with our first look at what 2022 might have in store for my painting. And today I'm painting with matte acrylic paint in these 6 colors. So today, as we get started here, I just want to say that one of the things that I'm struggling with, still struggling with, is what to do with my art practice this year. And when that happens, I often step back and try to take some inspiration from others. And one of my all-time favorite art styles is mid-century American illustration, and specifically the advertising illustrations. I think about illustrators like Al Parker and Charlie Harper. Anyway, when I think of them, I think of both the style and the mediums that they used. And so I'm going to use that for my inspiration. So let's start with the medium. When I look at some of these works, I can't really be sure what they used, but my mind immediately goes to gouache. And I think gouache is a versatile and relatively quick medium to work with. And it gives a nice flat finish that probably made it easy to photograph and reproduce. And that's probably why I think that they used it. And I have gouache paints, but I'm not really a huge fan of them. And right now I see a lot of people using something called acrylic gouache. And when I looked it up, I saw that it's actually more like acrylic paint in that it's not reworkable once dry, but unlike regular acrylics, it does dry to a matte finish, which made me really interested in this paint until I saw the price. Now, most professional art supplies aren't cheap, but this was kind of out of control, and only a few companies even offer them. So I was thinking about it and I thought, why not just use matte acrylic paints? I mean, acrylic paint that dries to a matte finish, what's the difference? I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. I still haven't used the acrylic gouache, but I thought I would give this a try since the biggest difference I could find was in the price. The price of the matte acrylic paints is lower, and I can't really get the same color range, but I'm fine mixing my own colors, and to be honest, I would probably do that anyway. So with that all sorted out, let's talk about the style inspiration. So mid-century illustration styles did vary a bit. The ones that I'm talking about were the ones that were able to really depict naturalistic elements like people and animals and environments, but in a bit of a graphic way that was more bold and more dramatic. And I mean, these were advertisements, so they were trying to get your attention. And so the first thing I think about is the color palettes that they would use. And that's what helped me choose my color palette today. So I feel like there was kind of a bit of a formula to what they would do. And it kind of goes like this. They would choose a number of mainly kind of muted tones that were either on the warm side or on the cool side, and then complement that with like a pop of color. And so the next thing that I noticed was the type of compositions and vignettes that they would use. So some of these illustrators would create their illustrations on just a white background and just let the silhouette of their subject kind of create the border around the piece. And then oftentimes there was this kind of just roughly painted shape that would kind of contain the subject. And so those were kind of the main stylistic things that I had noticed. So how does all of this stuff translate into my practice today? Well, I chose a limited color palette, and I definitely pushed the limits on the colors that were in the reference photo, but I did choose a warm set of muted tones, basically warm tones, but then this pop of aqua that would really add that contrast and that drama to the piece. And for the rough shape that I used here to kind of hold this all together, I just used a brayer to roll on some color onto the paper, and that gave me kind of a nice rough rectangle there that I could place my sketch onto. And I purposely used that warm terracotta color to really make sure that in the end, that aqua that I added would be just as bright as it could be. And so when I'm trying to learn from the things that I love, that's how I do it. And try to notice what are the things that I love, what are the things that I can see, and how can I translate those into my work. And ultimately, I always come away feeling like either there's something else that I want to try, or even better, there's something new that I can add to my own style that I may not have ever thought about. Okay guys, that's it for me. I'm so glad that you joined me today, and as always, I'd love to hear what inspires you guys. What mediums are you trying this year? Or what do you wish you could try? And if there's anything else that you'd like to see from my channel, just let me know in the comments. So for now, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and yeah, I'll see you soon.